for those of you who came in a little later, we'll be maybe using blocks tonight. I'll be using blocks for sure. And the other thing that I suggested was the bolster. And if you don't have a bolster, you can use a pillow or roll up a blanket. And my roll was just coming undone a little bit here. Okay, roll up a blanket. And again, if you don't have that, it's not the end of the world. It'll work out okay. So let's go ahead and lengthen up through the spine. So just gently cup your knees and pull on your arms and feel your spine lengthen up. And then maybe just lift your shoulders and let your shoulder blades slide down your back. And your chest may open and raise just a little bit. And keep the neck, the back of the neck long. And then gently close your eyes if that's all right with you, or just focus down towards the ground with your eyes. And then begin to focus on your breath. Watching the inhale and the exhale. And I'll talk a little about what this class is going to be tonight. We're going to be working mainly with the low back and the hamstrings. There'll be other things as well, but those will be our main focus. And we'll be also thinking about how it affects the body. We'll be trying to be aware of what's going on as we do these different poses. So our hamstrings do get tight when we sit a lot, or sometimes our quadriceps get used a lot, so that also tightens the hamstrings. So we want to do some things to help stretch the hamstrings. When the hamstrings are really tight, it pulls on the low back and disturbs the natural curve of your back. So we'll try to keep our hamstrings long. And we're going to also try to create stability when we're finding a relaxing release, as we work to invite equilibrium into both our mind and body. So let's focus again on the breath. Noticing where it goes, becoming aware of your breath as it enters your body and as it leaves your body. Maybe noticing the temperature of the air as it comes in and the temperature as it goes out of your nose. Maybe notice where the breath goes, in through the nose and down through the air tube there into your lungs. And then when you exhale, it comes back out the same way it went in, except opposite order. You might notice what parts of your body are moving with your breath. Your belly may be expanding with the inhales and relaxing back in with the exhales. Your ribs may be expanding all the way around your body with the inhale and then relaxing back in on the exhale. And then you may also notice the top of your chest moving sometimes. Just notice what's going on with your body. And with one more breath here, let's go ahead and then open our eyes and begin our physical practice. Now, you can sit in any way that you like. I'm sitting cross-legged, but you can have your legs out if you like. You can be sitting on a blanket, which helps release the knees down a little lower. Okay. So we're going to not start with the hips or hamstrings. We're going to start with warming up the upper body. So let's take the right hand to the floor and the left arm up. And inhale, lengthen, and exhale over to the right. We're getting this nice stretch on the left side of the body. We keep the chest open. We're pressing down through the left hip so that we get the stretch from the hip all the way up the side, all the way to the shoulder. So it's not so important how far you fold over. It's what we're going for is the nice stretch on the side. On your inhale, reach up and lower your arm down. And let's go to the other side now. We'll reach up with the right arm and the left hand is on the floor. Inhale and lengthen. And exhale over to the left. Again, keeping your chest open as much as you can and pressing the right hip down so that you get that good stretch on the right side of your body. You can have your head turned so you're looking at the floor or up at your hand or straight ahead. Any of those is okay. Whatever feels right for you. Let's inhale and come up and let your arm float on down. Okay. Let's take both of our arms up again. And this time we're going to move into a twist. And this is our first twist, so be gentle with yourself. We're going to bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand behind and turn then towards the right. Now, it's important always when you do a twist to keep your spine nice and long. We're not slumping in any way. And with each inhale, you're going to be lengthening the spine. And each exhale, you're going to be relaxing into the twist. And this may be adjusting your imagination. That's fine. So inhaling and lengthening, exhaling and relaxing into the twist. On your next inhale, lift your arms and come back to the front. And then exhale, right hand to the left knee and left hand behind. And inhale, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, turn towards the left. And again, be gentle with yourself here. This is only our first twist of the evening. We'll be doing more. Lengthening on the inhale, exhaling and relaxing into the twist. On your next inhale, lift your arms back up. And we're going to interlace our fingers here and turn the palms towards the ceiling. And we're going to bring the arms down in front and drop our chin. We still have our nice posture here, the long spine. And we're going to press away with our hands, feeling the stretch across the top of the back, your shoulder blades coming apart. Breathe into this On your next inhale, lift your head, bring your hands out to the side in T with the thumbs facing down, and bring your hands behind and interlace your hands again, bringing your shoulder blades together, coming into seated cobra pose. Nice deep breaths here. Feeling the stretch across the top of your chest here. And in your shoulders. Let's release. Maybe roll out your shoulders a little bit. And then let's uncross our legs and bring them into a wide seated pose. And we're going to be doing a forward fold here. And this really will be one of the first times that we're getting our low back and our hamstrings. You're going to flex your feet and then bring your hands to the floor. And we're going to keep the back aligned here. And we're going to fold forward, leading with the chest and keeping the head up so that we get this nice hamstring stretch with the feet flexed, pushing out through the heels, and also a stretch through the low back area. We'll stay here for a few breaths. And now what I'd like you to do is you have your hands on the floor, and we'll be moving the pelvis forward and back like in a cat and cow, but it'll be really subtle. So we'll exhale and press into a cat kind of pose. So the pelvis is moving back and the back is rounding. Inhale and pull your chest like you're coming through your arms, coming into a kind of a cow pose. Your pelvis is moving down. And exhale back into the cat. And inhale, coming into the cow. And let's do this 2 more times. Exhaling into cat. Inhaling into the cow. This will be our last one. And now come back to your aligned spine and just see if you can go a little deeper now. And sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. And then walk your hands back and come back up to a seated position. We're going to now twist to turn and look over our right leg. And we're going to come again into a forward fold. And this time, again, we're going to keep the back aligned. So just folding over your right leg, moving your hands down to whatever place you can, maybe on your leg or on the floor. Maybe you can reach your toes, maybe not, whatever works for you. And here we're getting this hamstring stretch on the right leg, and you may be feeling it on the inside of your left leg as well. Walk your hands back and press yourself up, and keep looking down your right leg. And now we're going to take the left arm, left hand to the left leg. We're going to take the right arm up by the ear, and we're going to slide the left arm down the left leg, coming into a side bend here. And again, it's not so important how far you go. What's interesting is to notice how it feels in your body. You're getting maybe a stretch on your right side. Your chest is open. On your next inhale, reach up and come back up. Good. And maybe twist it out a little bit. And now we'll do the same thing to the left side. So we're going to turn to look over our left foot and then get our spine nice and long and fold forward to whatever place you can into a forward fold. Remember, your feet are still flexed with your heels pushing out. And you come to a nice place where you get a nice gentle stretch on your hamstring on your left leg. And again, you may feel something on the inner thigh of your left leg as well. Then press yourself up and keep looking down your left leg. Take your right hand to your right leg, your left arm up. And now we're going to slide the right hand down the right leg to whatever place feels good to you. We have this nice stretch on the left side of the body. We still have our feet flexed. And you're breathing nice and deep and slow. So these side stretches also help the lower back. You may be able to feel the muscles right through here on your back, getting a nice stretch. Let's inhale, come up, and exhale, lower your arm down. Okay, let's go ahead and move to table pose. And if you want something underneath your knees, go ahead and get it. So your wrists are under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, and spread your fingers nice and wide. So your middle finger is pointing forward. And we're going to do some cat and cow. So exhale, your pelvis moves away from your thighs, your back rounds and your head drops. Inhale, and your pelvis moves towards your thighs, your belly drops, and your head comes up. And do this for the next few moments, following your own breath, letting the breath lead the movement. So as you begin to inhale, you begin to move into that cow. And as you begin to exhale, you begin to move into the cat. This strengthens the core, the front of your body and the back of your body. Helps with the flexibility of your spine, including your low back. Let's do one more cycle. And come to stillness. All right, this is where you might like the block. And I will fetch mine. We're going to be coming into low lunge. So we'll start with bringing the right foot forward, and I'm going to move back just a little. Okay, so the right foot comes forward, and you place it, your foot, so that your knee is right above your ankle or behind the ankle. And if it's comfortable for you, you try to get this long, angle here on your left leg, so you get a nice stretch in your hip flexor as well. Okay, so let's bring our hands to our thigh and lift up. Oh, I have no head. Oh, well. So just feel the stretch on the hip flexor there. And let's lower down. And then we're going to walk our hands or our blocks and hands back so that we are straightening the right leg, and we straighten it only as much as is comfortable for you. So if you need to stop with your knee bent, that's fine. If you can straighten it out, that's also fine. Whatever is good for your body. And then we come forward, again into the lunge, getting the stretch on the hip flexor, on the left leg, the hip crease, and then we'll walk on back again, getting a nice stretch in the hamstring. If you like, you can fold forward more if that's comfortable for you. It stretches your low back a little bit more and your hamstring. Just listen to your own body. Come forward. Okay. And now we're going to move into, and I should turn myself a little bit here so you can see. We're going to move into lizard pose. So you're going to take both your hands on the inside of your right leg, and you can have your hands on your blocks, on the floor, or if you want, you can lower onto your forearms. I don't know if that's going to work for me tonight. We'll see. Okay. And some of you can even lower down on your forearms onto the floor. Now, one of the things you want to watch for is that we don't want this right knee flopping out. It still needs to be straight above the right ankle. Okay. So I imagine you're feeling this stretch in your hips. And on your next inhale, let's press into our hands and come up. And let's go ahead and bring the right knee back underneath. Okay, now we need to do it on the other side. So we'll bring the left foot forward, hands on either side of the foot. And again, you place your foot so that your knee is right above the ankle or behind, just not past the ankle. And maybe try to have some kind of angle here. So your angle may look kind of like that, and that's fine. It's whatever makes you feel comfortable and balanced. All right. So we're all in position now. When you feel ready, bring your hands up to your thigh, and we'll be here in, I almost tipped over. We'll be here in low lunge upright for a few breaths, getting a nice stretch on this right hip crease, this right hip flexor. And now bring your hands back down to the floor or to your blocks. And then we'll come into this half monkey pose, walking the blocks back, straightening the left leg as much as is comfortable for you, and then folding over so whatever level feels good to you. Here we're getting this nice hamstring stretch on the left leg. And let's walk forward into the low lunge. And then back. And one more time, walking forward. And then walking back. All right, come into the low lunge. And bring your blocks or your hands out to the right side of your left foot. And then whatever works for you, hands on the floor, hands on the blocks. And you could even have them up higher too, whatever you like. Or maybe lower down to your forearms, either on the blocks or on the floor. Check to make sure your left leg is still above your ankle. We'll take a few more breaths here. And then push yourself up and come back into your table pose. And let's move into child and take a breath here, a rest. The knees wide, the big toes together, sitting your hips back to whatever place is comfortable for you. And then lowering your head down to the mat or your hands or the block under your forehead. And again, you choose. Mainly just be here and relax and breathe into your back. Let's come back up into table. So move your knees back under your hips. We're going to be moving into downward facing dog. So let's take our hands a little bit forward, tuck the toes, and we're going to keep our knees bent to begin with. So on the exhale, we're going to bring our head between our arms and press into our hands and out of our shoulders and lift the hips. So inhale and then exhale, lift on up. And then begin to straighten your legs. And let's go ahead and walk it out so that you're pressing back with one heel and then the other. You can come out of this whenever you like. And you would just go down to table pose and rest in child if you like. And then come to stillness. And again, you can have your knees bent as much as is good for you, or as straight as is good for you, whatever is right. But you want that good form. You want your head between your arms, lifting out of your shoulders, pressing into your hands. And then let's release on down. And let's come to a seated position again. This time, be sideways on your mat. And I see that I need to adjust my mat just a little here. Okay. So your feet are going to be on the floor, hip distance apart. And we're going to have our hands behind us. They can have the fingers pointed forward or back, whatever is best for you. Lengthen up through your spine. So your chest may lift just a little bit. So you're really nicely supported. And we're going to just drop the knees over to the right. Now, what I'm going to suggest here is that you try to get these hip bones, the thigh bone into the hip joint. So you kind of pull it back into that joint and just notice how that feels. And then let's bring the knees up and go the other way. Again, kind of bringing this thigh bone back into the joint. So it kind of lifts up your bottom a little bit on that side. And then come back up to the center. Now, I think this next part's kind of fun. We're going to windshield wiper our legs and watch what happens to your bottom as you do this. So just come back and forth. You may notice that little by little, your bottom's getting closer to your heels. Now, when it gets close enough that you feel like that's it, go ahead and release on down to your back. Ah, yes. Okay. So someone had asked if they should have a strap or not. You could for this next part or not. Okay. Let's begin by bringing the right knee in towards the chest. Oh. You can hold around the shin or the thigh. And now let's lift the foot up. And let's not worry about straightening the leg right yet. The foot is up, the bottom of the foot is towards the ceiling. And let's concentrate on the base here. So notice that as we're here, the low back is flush to the floor. Your right hip is up a little bit, and your shoulders are resting on the floor. Your neck is long and your head is resting nicely on the floor. And now let's go ahead and you can straighten your leg if you like, or you can leave it bent. And we're going to point and flex the foot. And then circle. And then the other direction. Okay. And now let's circle from the hip. So you're going to just make circles with your leg moving, and the only place that is moving is right this thigh bone in your hip. And then come to stillness. And then we're going to move to happy baby pose. So let's bring the right knee towards the right armpit. And we're going to grab the big toe, the outside of the foot, the thigh, your pant leg, whatever works for you. And we're going to just enjoy this happy baby pose and check your left knee to make sure it's still pointing up towards the ceiling. The bottom of your right foot is towards the ceiling still. And then release that. And let's bring the right foot to the floor. And let's bring our arms into a T with the palms facing up. And then we're going to lower the legs to the right. Just this nice gentle twist here. If you want, you can take your right foot on top of your left knee to deepen the twist a little bit. That's an option. And now let's lift the knees up. And we're going to drop the right leg down to the side. Now, here's another place that you might want to use your block. Coming into this, where we're dropping the knee over, half cobbler's pose. You might feel better if you had a block underneath it. Okay. So that again is an option. And now we're going to lengthen the left leg down and flex the foot, flex your left foot. And so what we're in here is reclined tree pose. So let's go ahead and bring our arms overhead. So we have a very tall tree that's lying down. Keep your left foot flexed, pushing out through the heel. It's like it would be standing on the floor. And I hope you all appreciate this balance pose for tonight. Let's release that. Lift the knee up. And let's go ahead and do the other side now. So both feet are flat on the floor. And we're going to bring the left knee in towards the chest, holding around the shin or the thigh. And again, let's begin to lift the left foot so the sole is towards the ceiling. And again, we're not thinking about how straight we can get it yet. We're thinking about our base. So again, you may want to think about how your shoulders are resting on the floor. Maybe engage your abdomen just a little bit and notice how that kind of scoops your bottom up on the left side. And there's no space between your lower back and the floor. And then we're going to begin to straighten the leg to whatever is a comfortable place for you. But still being relaxed everywhere else. You know, the shoulders relaxed and your forehead and neck and throat relaxed. And then point and flex your left foot. And then circle. And then reverse the circle. Good. And then come to stillness. And then we'll circle from the hip. So we release our hands and circle. And then we're going to reverse the circle of this. And then come to stillness. And we're going to come into half happy baby again. We're going to bend the left knee towards the left armpit and reach for your outside of your foot, your big toe, your thigh, your pant leg, whatever works for you. But we'll be just resting here in this pose. The rest of your body is just completely relaxed. Your shoulders resting easily on the floor. Your belly and your hips are relaxed. Check that your right knee is still pointing towards the ceiling. And then let's release that and bring your left foot to the floor. And we're going to take our arms in the T and lower the legs over to the left. And again, if you want a little bit more of a twist here, you can take your left foot on top of your right knee. And let's release that. Bring your left foot to the floor. I'm going to lengthen my right leg down first. And we're going to lower the left leg bent over to the side. And again, if you would like a block to tuck under your thigh there, that's fine. And we come into this reclined tree pose. Your right foot is acting as if it's standing on the floor, being flexed there. And let's go ahead and take our arms overhead. So we have this nice tall tree. And then release. And let's roll over to a side and press up to sitting again. So grab your bolster or your pillow or whatever you have. We're going to come into mermaid pose. And the way this works is we're going to put the bolster or pillow right at the side of our right hip, say. We'll have our feet on the floor and the knees bent, and we're going to drop the legs over to the side. Now, then you're going to twist so that your hands are on either side of the bolster. And adjust your bolster or pillow so that you can do that easily. And then lengthen through your spine and lower on down and rest here in this very relaxing position. At least it is for me. And we'll stay here for about 2 minutes. This is a restorative pose. In a class with a restorative class, we'd be holding this for about 15 minutes. Deep breathing. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and on an exhale, press yourself up and untwist yourself. Okay, let's do it the other direction now. So we'll put the bolster or pillow on the left, right by the left hip. We'll have our feet out with our knees bent. We'll drop the knees to the left. We'll twist and again adjust the bolster to where it needs to be for it to work well for you. Bring your hands on either side of the bolster or pillow. Lengthen through your spine and then lower down gently. And enjoy this next 2 minutes here. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press into your hands and bring yourself up and untwist. And I think it's time for us to move into Shavasana now. So go ahead and rest on down on your back, making yourself comfortable in whatever way you like. Maybe there's one last stretch or something you'd like to do before you rest in Shavasana. But then come to stillness. Cover yourself if you like. Put your bolster under your legs if you want, or under your head. Whatever feels good to you. And then close your eyes. Move your attention to the little muscles of your scalp and relax them. Release your forehead, smoothing it out. There's no worries here. Relax your eyes back into your eye sockets. Relax your cheeks and your lips. Release your jaw. And when you release your jaw, your mouth may open just slightly, and all the muscles of your face relax. Relax your neck and your throat. And feel your head and neck heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Relax your shoulders, your upper arms and elbows, lower arms and wrists. Relax your hands and your fingers. And feel your shoulders and arms heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Relax your back and all the little muscles along the spine. Relax the front of your body and all the organs inside. Relax your hips, your upper legs and knees, lower legs and ankles. Relax your feet and your toes, and feel your hips and legs heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Feel your whole body heavy on the earth, warm and relaxed. Time will slow down and the past and future are less important now as you relax your body and adjust your spirit. Allow yourself to be all right with slowing down and stopping, and let your silence speak a little louder now. The thoughts of the day slowly start to dissolve. Just observe these thoughts and then gently let them go. Put them down for now. Your breathing becomes your focus now as you breathe in and breathe out, naturally pausing where you need to and feeling the stillness in that space. This place, right here, right now, is free from the past or the future. It's free from judgment and labels. There is no expectation here. This place is where your energy can be renewed and your spirit can breathe. This place is where your inner teacher speaks, and it's this place that you are able to hear and listen. This may be the first time today that you have paused and stopped. For the next minute, in the stillness of your breathing, notice what this feels like to pause and stop. And notice that in this place you are safe and you are without wanting. As you rest in the moment, you notice that your energy is lighter. Any previous heaviness of your spirit has vanished. Notice that what that feels like. Feel that lighter energy comfortably wrapped around you like a cocoon. Don't try to dissect it or interpret it, just notice it. When your thoughts stray, know that that's okay, but gently come back to here and now, focusing again on the breath. You're listening and noticing what your spirit needs, and this energy, this calm breathing space around you feels peaceful. This is the place where you can say, I am okay right now. And for the next few minutes, enjoy this place of quiet and calm. Begin to deepen your breath, and then begin to move the small muscles of your body, like fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, and maybe rock your head gently from side to side. And then begin to move the large muscles in whatever way feels good to you. A full body stretch, a twist, whatever you like. And when you're ready, bend your knees and roll to one side and take a breath or two there. And then using your hands, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands together in Anjali Mudra in front of your heart center. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all the love surround you, and the pure light within you guide you along. Thank you for coming this evening. Namaste. Have a good week, everybody. Have a good 2 weeks, everybody.